At extreme altitude, the human body begins to shut down in minutes. So when researchers found a human skeleton there, the location itself became the mystery. The remains were discovered in a high mountain zone where oxygen levels are too low to sustain unassisted life. There were no natural shelters, no vegetation, and no evidence of prolonged human activity. Even brief exposure in this environment causes confusion, loss of motor control, and eventual death. Yet the skeleton lay fully exposed among the rocks. Initial assumptions pointed to a modern climber, but the bones contradicted that explanation. Their surface erosion showed long-term weathering inconsistent with recent death. No synthetic fibers, no metal fasteners, no equipment of any kind were found nearby. Laboratory analysis placed the death several centuries in the past. That conclusion created a serious problem. There are no historical records of permanent habitation at that altitude, no documented trade routes, no military crossings. Even today, reaching the site requires specialized equipment and acclimatization. Whoever this was did not belong there. One interpretation suggests ritual intent. In several ancient cultures, extreme elevation was associated with proximity to the sacred. Death at altitude could be understood not as loss, but as transition. However, the skeletal evidence complicates this theory. There were no cut marks, no binding indicators, no fractures consistent with forced transport. The remains show no sign of ceremonial killing. This individual arrived under their own power. Another hypothesis proposes punishment or exile. But no known legal or cultural systems in the region describe such practices, especially ones that leave no supporting artifacts or records, which leaves a more troubling possibility that this location was once known. Some researchers argue that ancient high-altitude corridors may have existed briefly during favorable climatic windows, routes now erased by colder temperatures, geological shifts, and time. If so, this skeleton may not represent a singular event. It may represent the failure of a system we no longer remember. The individual did not die where no human should exist. They died where humans once did, and the mountain, untouched by history, preserved the evidence, not as an answer, but as a correction.